Welcome to Inside Fort Worth Business. Regardless if you are an entrepreneur, a startup, a small business, or just wanting to learn about business, you're in the right place. And we've got a great show lined up for you today. Unfortunately, Bill Crone couldn't be with us, but we are going forward with a super lineup. Matt Carnes is with us to talk to us about Branding Resources, his company. He's been in the business for over 30 years, helping companies all over the world. Companies like First Financial Resources and UT Southwestern tell their story. He's going to be with us today and tell us how the tide is changing in marketing materials. I also have Brandon Baker and his mother Ashley, and going to talk to us about the Oticon Foundation and their trip to Guatemala later this month, and trying to empower young people to with hearing aids and be able to, the kids that are not as fortunate as he is, and he did a great job. He has just surpassed 10 million views on Facebook after being on the Ellen Show. I don't know if you saw him here recently live, and it's been a great week of live events. We are live today on Twitter, on Fort Worth Today, on Facebook, and we're also live on YouTube, on CQ Digital Media. So we're doing everything live. It's all about live, right? And that's exciting time. We had a great week of live. We were over at the TCU Energy Institute for the Ken Davis Jr. Speaker Series with my good friend Ken Morgan. And we were with Jackie Park on how to win the energy debate, and she did a great job, and we had a live Facebook broadcast. So go back and check that out. It was really a lot of fun during that broadcast, and we're all about the Facebook Live, right? I think that's really where everything's going. Being able to bring those people into those events and then be able to kind of show that kind of live event and how that all kind of comes together. And Jackie did a great job, and she has a weekly show. If you get a chance, check that show out. We were also over at Hot Seat and Cold Drinks, the local entrepreneur summit, which was moderated by Ed Rethenstall, and that was Friday over at the Fort Worth Museum of Science and History. We also did that as a live event, Facebook Live. We also did that as a Twitter live event. It's all about doing things live, really. That's where everything is going live. And go back and check that out. That was with David Miner, Bobby McGee, Mike Fletcher, and Gina Puente. So we had a great week of live video, and we're doing more and more live. We've got a number of live things lined up these next couple of weeks. So I'm all about the live. And if you saw what's going on with LinkedIn this last week on Monday night, we're always promoting LinkedIn, and I'm promoting it to one of my guests today to be a part of LinkedIn because he's out there telling his story. Amy Schumer and Jimmy Kimmel were talking about what else? LinkedIn on Monday night. So it's all about it. LinkedIn is now offering not Facebook, but LinkedIn video ads. So you're going to start to see more and more video on LinkedIn. So it's all about where everything's going with the video and the live, and that's an exciting time. And what an exciting time in Fort Worth. Did you see the new video put on by the Chamber that Brandon Gingelbach showed us at the Chamber event? Mayor Price said, if you can't find it here, you can't find it anywhere. That's exciting, isn't it? And it's a new video, really a big part of the Amazon push to try to get people to come to Fort Worth. So check out the video. It's also on our page, Fort Worth Today. It's a great video that sells the city, regardless if you're a part of our partner with the Fort Worth Hispanic Chamber, if you're a member of the Fort Worth the Fort Worth Chamber of Commerce, or the Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. We're all about bringing people together to tell their story, to unite. I like the word cultivate. This week I was told cultivate is more about gardening, but we are all about, bringing people together. And my first guest, Matt Carnes has done that for close to 30 years, has with over $50 million in revenue. And the reason I wanted to bring Matt on is because he's someone, when I say things outside the box, my good friends at the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, when we say think outside the box, Cynthia likes to say we don't think outside the box, we say we burn the box. I love that saying. And Matt's someone that does that for a variety of different clients like the Dallas Cowboys, UT Southwestern, First Financial Bank shares. He can tell us about some of those different clients, but marketing materials and specialties has changed so much today, and he's really going to give us a first-hand glance on how that's happening today. So let me walk over and meet our first guest, Matt Carnes, Chris Quinn.
Hi, Chris.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Matt has been a longtime supporter. As I said, he is with Branding Resources with companies like Dallas Cowboys, FFIN, Premier Truck, UT Southwestern. You've been doing this for a long time?
I have.
What do you like most about what you do?
I think the variety. Every day is something different. We never know what to expect. To say that it's changing rapidly is an understatement. It's changing every day, and that's part of the fun of it.
What's the biggest paradigm about your industry? Because, in the good old days, we thought of cups, caps, and T-shirts, and that's probably the farthest thing from what the business really is.
Well, there's still a lot of that stuff. That's the transactional stuff, and everybody needs it. If you look at Branding Resources, we have a pretty strong client list, and we deal with the Dallas Cowboys. We used to do all their design and distribution of their merchandise catalogs, but they've grown to the point now in their merchandise department has just become a phenomenal organization. So all we do now is print catalogs for them. First Financial Bank may be the best example of our breadth of resources. We do everything for them turnkey. If you go into a First Financial Bank club, you can't not see what we've done, be it a pocket folder, brochure, a shirt, a name badge, a business card. We do all that stuff. And so they're a solid customer and a really great organization out of Abilene. Premier Truck is the local Freightliner and Western Star dealer. They're a Penske-owned company, and we get to do a lot of variety of products for them, some really creative stuff. UT Southwestern just recently voted #1 hospital in DFW, #2 in the state, and we get to do a lot of creative stuff for them, but you can't go into their hospital and not see our work. A lot of the wearables, a lot of the lab coats are products that we provide, but everybody there will have a name badge, a badge reel, and also a safety card, and we provide all that. So one of the common denominators across all of our customers is we have to make sure we're providing brand consistency. So the two things we're seeing the most on the physical side of the advertising is the influx of the internet providers. The challenge that is coming with that is they're not consistent on delivering the brand logo and making it look the same every single time. So our primary goal, we deal with somebody to make sure their logo looks like their logo and everybody understands that. And since so much of our stuff sticks around for so long, much of it for over a year, it has to be consistent and maintain their brand consistency. The other thing we're seeing a lot of is the association with branded merchandise. The high-end brands, for example, in the apparel world, a lot of people want to have association with Nike or Under Armour or things along those lines. And I was going to wear my Under Armour Branding Resources shirt today, but the producer told me I had to wear a tie. So I didn't get to do that. But that's a lot of what we see. And I got a couple of examples we can pull out here in a minute of just some of the challenges we deal with the logos and how hard they are to be consistent with as well.
That was a lot of information, Matt.
Sorry.
Okay, so when we're thinking about creating a campaign, what's the first thing we need to be thinking about?
Got to understand the audience. What are the demographics? Who are we going after? Is it men? Is it women? Is there a particular age group that we have? And some of it's event specific. What is the event? I'll give you a good example. First Financial Bank, we do a lot of basic stuff for them. We have a warehouse full of product that we can pull and pick and ship for them on a daily basis from our distribution center. But sometimes they'll have an event come up, like the Real Estate Council has a poker run coming up, so we do get to do some fun stuff. So we recently came up with these poker glasses for the First Financial Bank poker run. Has their logo on it, and so when the First Financial folks get to go to the event, they will be wearing their poker glasses, and therefore at the Real Estate Council event on November the 2nd, First Financial will be showing their support for the poker run.
Cool, and the logo's on the side of the glasses.
The logo is right there on the side.
Sweet.
So that was kind of fun when we get to do some fun stuff. With UT Southwestern, I mentioned that we do all kinds of different product for them, from be it lab coats, be it wearables, be it whatever, but they also have a program that they're really trying to get developed, which is the sickle cell program. And this was a program that we did for them. A lot of sickle cell patients spend a lot of time in doctor's offices, sometimes in chemotherapy operations. So we came up with a program for the sickle cell patients that has a logoed spot here on the front. It's a case with all the things and all the technology gadgets that you would have. So the sickle cell patients have their power banks, their headset, and all the things that can keep them occupied while they're sitting either in a doctor's office, waiting room, or chemotherapy program that they're going through. So we get to do a lot with those. It's a great program, and they're working really hard to develop that through the UT Southwestern network. We also deal with NRCHA, the National Marine Cowboy Association, which hosts 2 big events right here in Fort Worth. And this is one of those type deals when people aren't really understanding exactly what we do. There's a couple of different terms we have to use. It's either some customers say, well, you're the make it happen people, and some people say, well, you're the swag guy. So this is a good example. This was the NRCHA jackets that we do. These are the championship jackets. And what's really important about making sure that we keep these consistent for all of their winners, these are the winners of all the different divisions they have, and these are the most worn jackets that they have. So we've got to make sure the colors are right, the look is right, the quality is right, and these are for the champions for each of them. This is a 2013 version. But they come in twice a year to the Will Rogers Center, and they have 2 very large events. And coming up in February, they'll be hosting the world's greatest horseman competition right over here as well.
Well, thank you. Is that a gift for us?
If you want it to be, if we can get that one on you, you can have it. So those are some of the fun things that we get to do. And another one that, when things get a little more complex, you have a need come along, like there's a retired NFL football player named Gary Baxter. He's from Tyler. He partnered with another famous football player from Tyler named Earl Campbell. Well, they both have a moniker of the Tyler Rose, and Gary Baxter is known as the Thorn. So when Gary came to us and said he and Earl were partnering on a new project, they came in and said the key with this whole thing is we have to get the rose and the thorn in the logo, and they have to stay on everything that we do. But Gary has a keen eye for design, and he had a real focus on how he wanted this logo to look. So it became really more of a piece of art than actually a logo. And so now our challenge is to take that logo with all those multiple colors and be consistent across the board of everything that we do. So as they're rolling out this new project that they're working on, be it a bag, be it the shirts, be it the hats, be it the water bottles, be it the journals, everything has to be the same.
Return on investment, how do I measure it?
Return on investment is a challenging issue there, just as it is on the social side as well. In many cases, it's just a matter of people talking about the product that they got, and what comes around. But most of the products that we do stick around for at least a year, so there's a long-term gain from having those impressions in that product around.
Where do you see things going?
I think there's going to be always going to be a need for the physical and concrete product that we provide. I do think there is a big push headed towards the social side, as you hear anybody talk about their budgets moving more towards social media. And we have, because of the clients that we have actually partnered with a digital firm that manages those things, and they can help with a local SEO. But more than anything else, we turn the project over to them, and they are able to help. But their goal is to try to funnel everything back to a website for a quick, easy call to action. And we're seeing a lot more call for that. When we'll be talking about a product or a program or whatever, we will hear more often the people say, what can you do to help us in our digital space? And that's when we'll call in our technology department to come help us with that.
Fantastic. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for everything you're doing for the community with Special Olympics, for adaptive PE program.
It is a lot of fun to see the help us to be able to help the Special Olympics and the adaptive water people. It's really good.
Where can we find you?
Branding-resources.com.
Okay, and on social media?
There's a need I need to be working on there.
You're on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook, and I do have LinkedIn, but
and are you on Instagram?
We are not on Instagram yet.
Okay. Are you on Twitter?
We are not on Twitter.
Okay, so you're on Facebook.
We are.
Twitter and on LinkedIn.
Facebook and LinkedIn.
Okay. Matt Carnes, Branding Resources does great work, has been a great supporter of everything we've done, great friend, great to see you.
Thanks for
Thanks
having
for
me.
everything. Thanks for being here.
You bet.
Thanks for the invite to the game last night.
You bet. Sorry you couldn't make it. It was a good game.
Yeah. Terrific. Great having Matt in the house. And it's interesting because I do think it's interesting what's going on in that space because everyone thinks they can just think what's happening. So, Braden, come on up. Next guest is in the house. This is exciting. I have never had interviewed someone with like this before, so I'm excited. He was on the Chris Quinn show earlier this week, and if you get a chance, go back and check out the interview. Braden Baker is with me today.
Hello.
Braden, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Great to see you. We're working on a number of different things, but he's really building his brand out. And Braden is a 5th grader at Fort Worth Country Day. And I'm going to move your chair up just a little bit for me a little bit. And he has recently been on the Ellen DeGeneres show. He had 10 million views. He she's a true inspiration to him.
Yeah.
He desires to help other kids that don't have the opportunity to have hearing aids because they don't necessarily have insurance.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about you and your story.
Well, so it kind of started when my dog ate my hearing aids. He actually ate them twice. And my mom was like, what are you going to do about that? And so yeah, Ellen kind of inspired us to start a campaign and raise money for people who can't afford hearing aids.
Okay.
And then we raised all this money, and then all this happened. Yeah.
Great. So your original goal was to raise $1,000, and you've now raised over $45,000.
Actually, about 65,000.
Woo-hoo! So you've raised $20,000, and today you've raised $60,000.
Yes.
Okay. And you are going to tell me where you're going next month.
We're going to Guatemala next month on November 12th.
Okay. And what do you plan on doing there next month?
We're giving out about 200 hearing aids to people who can't afford them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long will you be there?
We will be there about 5 days.
Okay. So you're in 5th grade, and this kind of been a life-changing event for you. So what we've talked about with Braden is kind of figuring out where he goes from here. He's on Instagram, and what's your Instagram handle?
It's the @randomdude_Baker.
How did you come up with that handle?
Well, it was kind of like my YouTube channel, so I just named it after my YouTube channel.
That's cool. So what Braden wants to do is really kind of figure out, he's told his story, he has 10 million views, and we've met a couple of times now, and we're connected a couple of different ways, but we're both tennis players, right?
Yeah.
We both tennis players, and our friend John Baker is someone that does that. And then also, but we want to figure out how we can help Braden fundraise and tell his story, right? Because he wants to not only continue to raise, but his mom's going to come on just a second to kind of to figure out where he goes from here. So, and we wanted to have him on the show today because if you saw him on the Chris Quinn show, what was kind of the takeaway from all this? What did you really learn from this whole experience?
Well, I kind of learned how some people couldn't afford hearing aids and how some people just like couldn't hear and they would go to school because they couldn't hear, and so my biggest takeaway is just that some people can't afford it, and we need to help that.
Yeah, to help people those. But Braden also realizes that he's now in the fundraising game, right?
Yeah.
There's 4,300 other nonprofits.
Yes.
Because he's thinking about starting a nonprofit, a foundation. And he also realized that there's thousands of other GoFundMe people doing GoFundMe accounts. So, and we also know there's like 12 hearing aid centers on Camp Bowie, like within a 10-mile radius. So why should people give money to your cause?
Well, I feel like our cause is like better because we like travel around the world not just in the U.S. There are some people in Fort Worth getting hearing aids too, and yeah, so we travel. So yeah, we're going to Guatemala, and we give hearing aids to people not only in the U.S. but in other countries.
Great. Okay, so how could people, if they want to give to your GoFundMe account, how can they do that?
You can look up Braden Baker, and then you could probably find it there.
Not probably.
Or you will find it there.
That's right.
You will.
That's very important. So if you want to give to his, because I think this is so important. I mean, this is like something I might see on Shark Tank. This is something we talked about. Maybe you might see on Shark Tank. So, because this is something we talked about the first time we got together, right? Is this a one-time deal, right?
This is like just gonna go on for a long time.
It's an ongoing deal, right?
Yeah, ongoing.
You're just in 5th grade, but this is something we'd like to kind of continue on,
Yeah.
right? Good. Okay. Let's bring in your mom for a second. Your other half, right?
Yeah.
She's kind of helped drive this thing along. This is Ashley Baker.
Would you like me
Ashley,
to
come
go?
on in. Thank you for being a part of this,
Hi,
guys.
hi,
Great.
hi.
Do we need to adjust this at all? Great. Okay. Terrific. Ashley, thank you for being with us.
I'm so glad to be here.
Terrific. Talk about the experience of going on Ellen. What was that all about?
Well, let me
Surreal.
I can't even begin to explain to you what it's like to be on that set and to be around all those people. It's really kind of magical. And I think the whole time we were there, Braden and I were like, are we really sitting here? Are we fixing to go on the Ellen Show set? Because they couldn't have been more gracious and just in every single way. But you know what? Can I thank you for a second for really taking the time to highlight Fort Worth businesses and giving them a place to give them a platform, because had it not been for Fort Worth businesses, we wouldn't have gotten our first donations. Like my community at Orange Theory Fitness, my community at Indigo Yoga, everything here, and all the local people that contributed to that first donation, because he did a series of 5 videos asking for money. It's all the local Fort Worth people that started it, really.
Well, let's keep that going. And how do we kind of keep that going? You've got to be awfully proud of him. And I think that's one of the things we're past the kind of feel good, right?
Right.
You know, the Ellen, and we're great about that, and you did that. And I think that's one of the things we talked about is that, okay, where do we go from here, right? So the value proposition is, what do you guys need? Because that's one of the things that we kind of talked to Matt about, is how can we guys help you guys with branding, as far as there's a name, it's from the community in Fort Worth today, right? Because we're all about helping. What do you all need?
Well, we're actually thinking about starting a foundation.
Okay.
And we kind of want to raise money on our own website.
Okay.
And not have another website do it for us, and we kind of want to get a logo for everything.
Which is good, because I think we just met our logo guy, so
Great.
see how it all works.
Sure.
But what we hope is, because we love Oticon Hearing Foundation and we love them so much,
Okay.
because they give out purely instruments. They give out the hearing aids, period. They don't pay for seed money or anything like that. It's all instrument based. He doesn't like me to say instruments because he thinks people will think band. But no, it means the actual hearing aid device, the tubing.
Let's talk about,
that's it.
so there's lots of different, why Oticon Foundation?
Well, Oticon Foundation was one of the only foundations that would travel around the world and give other people hearing aids, and there's also my brand of hearing aids. And so yeah, we kind of just looked up hearing foundations,
Okay.
and that was the first one to pop up.
Okay.
And so we looked at it and we found out that it was actually our brand of hearing aids.
Okay.
They're relatively new. There's so many great foundations out there.
Sure.
We just happened to come across this one because we want to support the brand of Fizz Hearing Aid.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's not confuse things. Y'all want to start a foundation, but we're still raising money for the GoFundMe account.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
Okay,
It's GoFundMe still. At this point, that's where we are. So.
okay, so thrilled to have you guys on the show. We want to continue to kind of tell this ongoing story that you guys have going on. Go to Fort Worth today to watch your story on Chris Quinn today. Got to have more of these kind of videos. Go to the GoFundMe account to kind of continue to kind of do that.
Right.
Go to, where can we find you on social media? We can find you at,
The random dude _ Baker.
okay, and then we can also find you on Facebook at,
It would actually be mine. It'd be Ashley Williams Baker on
okay,
Facebook.
Ash Williams Baker. Okay, so those are two places we can find you. Let's step up. This is a great time. And I'm also going to challenge the hearing community. I mean, on Can't Buoy alone, I've done some research. We have, in a 10-mile radius, we have 12 hearing aid centers. So there's no reasons people like Jones Audiology and Soundworks and these people should not be standing up to support this young man. That's where I think LinkedIn is a great way to reach out. And I met someone at the Entrepreneur Summit on Friday that's works for a hearing aid thing. So
Awesome.
once again, guys, let's support this young man. How many fifth graders do you know that are making a difference in our community? Hashtag Fort Worth proud. Hashtag Fort Worth making a difference. Okay. Thrilled you guys could be here with you today. 2 hands. Okay. Alrighty. Thrilled you're playing tennis. That's the main thing, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a game of a lifetime, right? You
Yeah.
can play
Yes,
anywhere you go, and what's most important?
To have fun.
Absolutely, you have fun. Right on, brah. Right on. Thanks for being here.
Thank you
Right
so
on.
much.
That's cool. Cool stuff. Great stuff.
Okay.
Alrighty. Great stuff. I love these success stories and really fun doing this and bringing this together every week, each and every day on Inside Fort Worth Business. Let me talk a little bit about that. So, Fort Worth today is our channel. And as you can see that we've got our logos, and someone asked about the mirror, I didn't do a good job of explaining that. The mirror allows us to show it both ways. So when we shoot live, the mirror logo will show both ways. But I want to talk to you a little bit about our channel, Fort Worth Today, because that's our overall channel that supports all our different video magazines. And you're watching Inside Fort Worth Business, which is our weekly program that profiles the lifestyles of these entrepreneurs, these small business, these movers and shakers, these people that are making a difference in our community. And we've had a great lineup today. I want to thank Matt Carnes for being with us. He did a great job. I want to thank Braden Baker and his mother for being with us. On Wednesday, we have our new show, which is going to be hashtag Wednesday Wisdom with Marianne Dufresne, which is really fun. It has been called hashtag Meltdown Monday, but we're changing the name, and that's Wednesday at 10:20. Then we have a brand called You, we have the Chris Quinn Show, and we have Success Stories. So those are our shows that are all part of Fort Worth Today, and those shows come out during the week. So we appreciate your support, and you can see those shows all on Fort Worth Today, and we're doing more and more live each and every week, and really kind of kicking up our social media presence. But what's most important that I'm asking you to do is to please share our content. We're at that point now where we've got more and more of our information out there, but for our growth of our business channel, we need you to share our content on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. If you like it, share it. You know, we appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the information we're getting from you. Our new Twitter feed is another avenue and a way for also to put our live feeds out there and the different things like that. So lots of exciting things going on. Exciting time to be cultivating and be a part of it, regardless, like I said, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business, if you're a startup, wherever you are, I think you're in the right place. And we've got lots of really exciting things going on between now and the end of the year. So tune in each and every Sunday at 12 noon on YouTube, on Facebook. You know, we also will bring it to you on Instagram and then rebroadcast on YouTube. But I just appreciate each and every one of you being here on Fort Worth Today. I'm Chris Quinn. Thanks for being here.
That was a good
Off.
commercial. When do we go live?
All right.
When do we go live? Is it live now?
Yeah.
We're gonna go.
Is it time to start?
Okay.
Do the roll
Yeah.
now?
Okay, that was a good rehearsal. We're gonna go live now.